Hello Exiles, and today we're going to be discussing how to maximize your profits in terms of your shipping, and also how to keep your gold hourly ratio and expenditures to an absolute minimum. We're going to run through that and how the best ways to do this and what you should be looking out for. Before we jump into that, obviously if you are enjoying my content, then I would like you to consider throwing me a subscribe or a like or a comment, whatever it may be. Throw me some support, it would be greatly appreciated and it would greatly help the channel. With that being said, let's jump in. So the first thing to be made aware of is that when you are obviously shipping, each port has its own requirement. So we're just going to take this one for example here. So they're wanting 15,000 wheat, so we're going to throw what I have in there, and then he wants 2,900 pumpkin, so I am going to put this in here. There we go. So that is obviously going to meet one of the demands, but the wheat I'm going to need to save up. Now the most important thing here though is you need to make sure that on the thaumaturgic dust you are putting in here, I'm putting in 520. The sweet figure is 519, but that just kind of doesn't sit right with me, so I'm just rounding it to 520. Odd numbers, just don't like them. So 520, and that will then give you a 2.5 multiplier on your shipment value. Then once you are done, you can then just hit done. Obviously add your crew, so obviously I'm going to assign my sailors, and then select port, select that port, set sail, and off it goes. Now that will obviously then provide me with a decent amount of chunk and rewards when that returns. Now the most important thing, like I said, is the thaumaturgic dust, which I'm going to show you now. So as you can see here, there is a full table here of all the rewards. Now what they've kind of figured out is whether you're sending the iron ore or whether you're sending the iron bars, it tells you here what you will get back. Now obviously, as you can imagine, crimson ore gives you all different variations of armor. Orichalcum also does the same. It also provides you with but random weapons. Petrified amber gives you rings or belts. Bismuth ore provides you with ward armor, or if it's obviously, and that's for this town, for any of the others it can be jewels, flasks, support gems, or quality vial skill gems. Now if you want scarabs, you get vericium ore. Scarabs would go to Ribbonfell, stacked eggs to Nagakanu, fossils and markers will go to Podium, unique items will go to Tir Onui, and then Kalguur is splinters. Now we have also figured out that all of the crops, so wheat, corn, pumpkin, or gourd, or blue xanthium, is all currency. So they are all regular random currencies. So from this you can figure out what is the best to send where. But that is what you want to be focused on in, and that is what you want to use. Down here is your scaling of the dust. So as you can see here, 519 is a 2.5 multiplier. Again, like I said, 519 just doesn't sit right with me, so I'm doing 520 just to be sure. Obviously the jump from 2.5 to 3 is an extra 7,500 or 600 extra dust. Now if you want to make this jump, so if you have tons and tons of thaumaturgic dust that you want to get rid of, then you by all means throw it in there and you will get a 3-time multiplier. If you don't and you're struggling for dust, then keep it to 519 or 520. Also on the PoE wiki here, there was a nice little thing here where there was a bunch of negative outcomes that could happen. So you could potentially have your quarter of your shipment is misplaced. You could potentially lose 3/4 of the shipment. Obviously you'll lose 75% of the rewards. That is probably one of the worst ones. You could have one of your crew members decides to stay and create a new life, so he's fallen in love on the island. There's also someone who was killed in a tavern ball. There's all sorts. And obviously the bottom one here is pirates have commandeered your ship, at which point you will then have to fight Admiral Valerius. Now, or you can ransom it, or you can abandon them. It's entirely up to you on how much your shipment is worth and whether you want to have a go at trying to save it. This website, obviously I will put a link in the description for this direct link to this page. There is a lot of information on here as well for all of the shipping, all of the ranks, all of the tiers, what they all provide you with, just so that you have all this information to hand. The next thing I wanted to discuss is gold per hour. So as you can see on the left here, I've obviously run out of gold because obviously I've been asleep, so I just woke up, so I don't have any gold left. However, this wage would typically be around about 5,000 to 6,000 per hour. Now, if you're wanting to reduce this down and make it more reasonable and make it a lot more affordable for yourself, then there is one thing that you can do, which I'm going to show you very quickly now if I just jump over to the miners. Now, let's say you've done for the night and your miners have managed to mine everything before you go to sleep. If you see here, I have unassigned all of my miners. If you unassign them and you make them idle, they do not charge you a wage. As soon as you assign them to a task on the left hand side here, they will then start to charge you monies. So for that reason, if you are ever struggling for gold, or if you don't have anything to mine, or if you don't have anything to disenchant in here, so obviously if I go in here now and go to disenchanting, obviously I've got a ton of stuff in there, but if you don't, then obviously you would literally just go in here and remove them all. Same with the smelting. If you don't have any bars to smelt, you would obviously go in here and you would remove them all. So for example, I don't have anything on here, so the only one I've got here is for orichalcum, so I'd remove. There we go. We'll leave them to working on orichalcum. That will then save me a hell of a lot of gold per hour in terms of monies. Same with the ships. If you're not planning on sending any ships out, if you go into here, there's obviously, if you see, no crew are on the ships. So as soon as you assign them, it will then start to cost you money. If you don't want to send them out, then when you click on this prepare, there is a little X. So if I just assign, you see this little X? Remove. All that does is just remove them off the ship. It doesn't fire them, it doesn't get rid of them. They're still in the town, but they're not charging you. They are literally just idle. If you think about it, idle workers don't get paid. You're idle when you go home every night from work. Do you still get paid? No. It's exactly the same premise here in town. So unassign them all and you will save an absolute ton of gold. And that is pretty much it, guys. Very straightforward, very self-explanatory. I'm loving the town. Last night I did a bit of investment into my build, spent a bit more money, and tonight I am literally going to be focusing on the entire town and upgrading every single section to try and maximize it as much as I can over the next couple of days. If you enjoyed the video, guys, thank you for watching, and stay sane.